All right. If those of you listen to my content for the past 2 years and listen to some of the things that I've said regarding the manosphere, especially the so-called black manosphere, then you shouldn't and wouldn't be surprised at the current state that it's in. Because I'm definitely not shocked by it. Being that what's going on right now in this space is the outcome of the things that I stated 2 years ago. Hell, Soul and Black, who was still on YouTube 2 years ago, now he's on Rumble. He no longer makes content on YouTube. But when he was making content here on YouTube, he stated similar things that I stated about where the sphere was going, in which if you was listening to what he was saying, you would not be surprised at the outcome of the current of the space currently. Same thing with the Black Brain Trust. 2 and 3 years ago, they was talking about things in the space in which, when you look at what's going on now, it's the outcome of what they was talking about 2-3 years ago. And one of the things that people should not be shocked about is how female content creators now have a dominant position within not only the mainstream manosphere, but the so-called black manosphere. Now, don't get it twisted. I always stated how some of the original creators of the so-called black manosphere. Now, I'm gonna, right now, when it comes to this point, I'm going to focus only on the so-called black manosphere, because we all know on the black side of the manosphere, the females definitely have a dominant force in that space. And don't get it twisted. I was one of the people who stated that some of the original content creators of the original manosphere were females, such as I forgot some of their names: Nubian Queen, Grady Green, Divine Brown, and I forgot the other sister. I forgot the other sister from Detroit. I forgot her name, but we have a few others, right? But these females that I named, and even the ones that I forgot the name of, they were actually sincere and sincerely cared about the state of black males. They were not, their intent in coming on to the space, I'm talking about during the Black Manosphere 1.0 days, right? Those females did not come to the space with the intent to try to make money off of the talking points, off of certain talking points, to try to cater to males' egos. We can't say the same thing today. The overall majority of the females that come into the space today, they come in here strictly to try to capitalize off of the pain and struggle of black males, just as much as the male content creators, for the most part, came on here to capitalize off of the pain and struggle and anger of so-called black males collectively. It's strictly business with these bitches. And the thing is that I'm not shocked at their current popularity, because the majority of the so-called black manosphere, as far as the 2.0 version of the sphere is concerned, they were created by pussy whipped males. The foundation of Black Manosphere 2.0 is being pussy whipped and trying to be appealing to a group of no good females that was never socialized or equipped to make good wives. But these are the types of females that the majority of Black Manosphere 2.0 want to get validation from. So basically, the foundation of Black Manosphere 2.0 is off of simping. That's all it was based on, really, simping. You know, when you look at the birth of 2.0, from 2015 all the way until now, right? What were the majority of the fucking talking points of a lot of these motherfuckers? You know, it's I can't wait until Donald Trump becomes president. Then he could remove welfare that would force Black females to come to the negotiation table with Black males in order to exchange their submission for Black males' resources. You know, it's how to get the pussy wet. I mean, damn. I remember motherfuckers was making videos giving instructions on how to, quote unquote, make the female's vagina wet. Stupid ass topics like that. You know, how Black females should be having sex with the good men, with the good, competent, educated men, instead of the Pookies and Ray Rays. Oh, Pookies and Ray Rays versus educated lames. It was all based upon Black males frustrated at the fact that Big Booty Keisha from the projects did not give them validation. So they came on here seeking validation. And only simps do that. Only simps would try to seek validation from a group of females who ain't really shit anyway. So when you look at the mindset, the simp mindset of a lot of these males on here, then it's no shock why these same males with that same mindset would give off their whole life savings in donating to these female content creators who are now capitalizing off of their pain and at the same time running interference. What I mean by running interference, they're doing the same thing that these fake master teachers in this space is doing, which is trying to get you to be appealing to a group of females who you shouldn't even be involved with in the first place. But then again, the majority of the viewing audience wants to make themselves appealing and attractive to these group of females that they're not supposed to be around anyway. You're talking about a large demographic of females who were socially engineered to be anything but a wholesome wife to you. They are a bad crop of females. But ever since 2015, we have a whole online community dedicated in trying to get males to seek validation from this bad crop of females. Now we got these conversion groups. They trying to convert these bad crop of females. They trying to change these hoes. In which rapper Too Short, shout outs to him, he said this shit 30 years ago, that you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. The foundation of Black Manosphere 2.0 ran contrary to Black Manosphere 1.0, in which 2.0 was all about either making males more appealing to a bad crop of females and trying to convert a bad crop of females to become wholesome wives when they was never socialized or conditioned to be that way. Therefore, they can't be that way. And you have so many of these content creators trying to capitalize off of talking about these things. Thus, it neglected the needs and the wants of the black male collective. See, the original point of this space is to actually confront the social, economic, and political issues that males in the Western Hemisphere, well, in the black manosphere's case, black males within the Western Hemisphere, and to point out the systematic mistreatment that they've experienced. And yes, the relationship aspect is included in that, but it's only a small piece to a bigger pie. And it was not only about confronting the social, political, and economic issues that males in the Western Hemisphere is going through and have gone through. It was also about finding ways to solve these issues. Once the 2.0 generation came into existence, that shit stopped, because it's now all have become about trying to convert a bad crop of females to become wholesome wives, which is no surprise why you see these dumbass videos on, teaching on Andrew Tate schooling the modern woman, and Kevin Samuels. You see clips of Kevin Samuels, quote unquote, schooling the modern woman. It's all about how to change the modern woman. I was watching this one video and I saw a stupid ass comment from some nigga. Who told this content creator, and this was a video of a female content creator. She went live and she highlighted a comment from some dumbass nigga who told her that she should open up a school to teach the modern woman how to become great wives. See, once again, this bullshit, or this conversion school, or this conversion movement on trying to convert a hoe to become a housewife, something that's impossible. It's like trying to make a cat bark or trying to make a dog go meow. So basically what I'm saying is that when you see the mindset of a lot of people within the space who's trying to convert a bad crop of females and or trying to make themselves appealing to a bad crop of females, that's a simp mindset, because only a simp would do such a thing, because a simp has no integrity. A simp has no integrity, and as a result will exchange or negotiate his own integrity in exchange for some pussy. And this is what these niggas with this whole conversion shit are trying to do. They're trying to do whatever it takes to get some pussy off of a bad crop of females. They'll compromise their own integrity. Let me tell you something. As a man, whenever you try hard to trying to get sexual access from a group of females that come from a bad crop, just doing that, you're compromising your own integrity. Why? Because you're throwing all your standards away in the trash can just to get some pussy from a female that's going to disrespect you, humiliate you, try to emasculate you, and etc. So basically, once again, what I'm describing is the high degree of simpitis within the niggas in this current space. And because the high degree of simpitis within the niggas of this current space have resulted in these female content creators being a dominant force in the Black Manosphere space. I mean, it's to the point where a lot of these males will support, and granted, I don't give a fuck what a male does with his money. I don't give a fuck if a male decides to donate to whichever content creator, but I can't help to acknowledge that when you got these males who support these female content creators more than they do male content creators, it's an example of them doing whatever it takes to get attention from these female content creators. Because let's keep this shit real. A lot of these niggas are doing that shit to seek validation and attention from these female content creators. Let's keep that motherfucking shit real, in hopes to get some goddamn pussy. Because this is what simps do. This is what the fuck simps do. One of the most, as a man, men gotta realize that your biggest enemy is a fucking simp. That's your biggest enemy. Is a fucking simp. A fucking weak ass nigga with no standards, with no integrity, no dignity, no types of moral values, nothing like that. The biggest priority in the mind of a simp is what's in between a female's legs. And he would do anything to get access to it, including eliminating your ass. We see that all the time in the inner city. We see this, we see the process of the simpitis syndrome in play in the inner cities of the United States of America, where a male will take the life of another male over some pussy. And these are the type of males that we have in abundance within this space. Thus, you shouldn't be shocked at the current state of this space. You shouldn't be shocked by it. You shouldn't be shocked at the fact that the wants and needs, or confronting the wants and needs of the Black male collective, have become neglected in this space. These weak simpitis having males have caused that to happen. Because remember, simps don't give a fuck about the wants and needs of other males. Simps only give a fuck about their own access to what's in between the female's legs. That's all he gives a fuck about. And he's going to live his life trying to attain that access. And he's going to try to, get access to it by any means necessary. So therefore, what his son needs, what his brother needs, what his nephew or grandson needs, don't mean shit to him. And once again, you see this same thing come into play online in this manosphere space. The male, or what the things that males go through in this current society was never a factor in this 2.0 space. That was just used as a disguise to cover up the true intent of why a lot of these male and female content creators came into this space. And not only that, but the thing is that a lot of these content creators in this space are losers in life. And because they're losers in life, they, their only hope to have or to maintain some sort of recognition in this space is to make sure that the rest of the males the rest of the males who make up the majority of their viewing audience are losers too and remain in a position of a loser. Which is why a lot of these male content creators promote defeatist talking points. And these defeatist talking points is to try to discourage any young male from advancing in life by by convincing them that there's no hope and no future for males in this society. That you're just fucked. Thus, promoting these talking points give these content creators no responsibility in trying to help advance the black male collective, especially when they came to the space pretending to give a fuck about the black male collective. It's like they come on here, pretend to have all this fucking knowledge, all this wisdom, telling you, the history of black males in America and all this statistics about, 49% of blah, 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 blah. Okay, but what are we going to do to solve it? Well, we can't do it. Well, there is no solution because blah, 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 blah. We can't solve it because feminism is going to stop us if we try to solve these issues. We can't stop it because some boogeyman hiding underneath your bed is going to come out and stop you. Thus, those types of points, this talking point of we can't solve it because somebody bigger than us and more powerful than us is going to stop us, negates them from having any responsibility from helping the black male collective move forward. I've seen the same defeatist talking points come into play within the different pro-black movements. Online, that is. Where you got these intellectual masturbators that come online and make content and pretend to be these very intelligent and wise motherfuckers. But then when it comes to, when it comes to discussing what we're going to do to solve these problems, because these motherfuckers will come out here, go online and discuss a whole plethora of problems that so-called black people face, why we face these problems and the history of these problems. Okay, but then when it comes to actually discussing what can we do to solve these problems, oh no, we can't solve them because the white man's going to stop us from trying to solve them. If we try to go and solve them, the white man is going to stop us. You see what happened with Black Wall Street? These types of talking points. And that excuse negates them from having any responsibility in helping the black collective move forward. Why? Because it was never their intention to help the black collective move forward. Their intention was to go online and create a goddamn cult, a cult-like group, something like that. That's the same thing with the so-called Black Manosphere and a lot of the content creators within the space. A lot of them have the intention to create some sort of cult-like following. Why? Because there's money involved in that. And that's it. They're trying to create a cult-like following. Meanwhile, trying to gain the validation of a bad crop of females who were never socialized to love black males, respect black males, or to make wholesome wives to so-called black males. And I seen this shit come into play a long time ago. And I actually discussed this a long time ago. 2.5 years ago, I discussed this. I discussed these things. Which is why, once again, I'm not shocked at what I see in the space today. Because what is going on in the space today is the outcome of what I was talking about 2.5 years ago. And I was the only one discussing these things. Hell, even though I don't get along with the motherfucker, but Big J Triple X was discussing these things. You know, and you know what? I want to give a special shout out to Rollo. Or I think the name of his channel now is Rollo on the Talk 7. Because he discussed these things years ago. He actually predicted some of the things that's happening in the space today. He predicted these things years ago. Especially when he predicted back in 2018 and 2019, he predicted that a lot of female content creators will come into the space and become a dominant force within the space. He predicted that back in 2018 and 2019. And even back then, right, 2018, 2019, I did not come back to make content yet, but I was involved in talking in different panels within the space at the time. And I was telling people that you need to stop trying to seek validation from a group of females that come from a bad crop. I was saying that when I used to be on Rest the Bad Guys panels 4 or 5 years ago. I know Sigma American Arcana can testify that I was making those points. Rollo could testify that I was making those points. See Over the technician, he can verify that I was making those points. Preem, I don't think Preem is online anymore, but if he still is, he can verify that I was making those same points. And I was telling people that don't get it twisted. The overall majority of these people in the manosphere are straight simps trying to lead you back into a burning building. Here you had the 1.0 generation of the manosphere who trying to lead you out of the burning building, but then this 2.0 generation trying to lead you back in to that burning building by acting as if they're helping you out of the burning building. This is what's going on within the current state of the manosphere. And you shouldn't be shocked by this going on, because if you pay close attention to the fuckery that existed for what, 5, 6, 7 years, you would know that this current state of the manosphere is going to become the way that it is. And I'm saying that because a lot of people within this space seem to be shocked at how this space became, in which you shouldn't be shocked. And these same people who are shocked profess to partake in this space for several years. So when I hear these people who sound as if they're shocked at the current state of the space, in the back of my mind, I'm saying, what is there to be shocked about? If you've been here for the past couple of years, then you should be able to see these things coming. I mean, if you're good with observation, if you're good with discernment, I remember a couple of years ago on this side of YouTube, a lot of people were stressing the importance of having discernment. Well, hell, if you do have discernment, then it'll be easy for you to predict what will happen in the future as a result of what you see going on today. You should be able to foresee what's going on right now, thus will give you a clue of what will happen in the future. It's not hard to predict shit. It's not hard. Sometimes you just have to sit down, shut the fuck up, open your ears and your eyes, and your mind too, and get off the drugs to clear your fucked up ass mind. And you'll clearly see the fuckery that's going on. Thus will give you a hint of what will happen in the future if the fuckery does not stop. Like, for example, like I said back then, when I stayed back then in around 2018, 2019, when I used to go on Wretch the Bad Guy's channel and partake in his panels, and I stated how a lot of people in the Manosphere are straight simps. Me being able to see that back then led me to knowing that all it takes is one good-looking female content creator that'll come into the space and pretend to give a fuck about the state of so-called black males, and they'll become a dominant force in the space. And now we've seen a couple of them. Hell, it's to the point where average-looking females are coming on here and being a dominant force in the space. And you got these niggas throwing their whole life savings away and donating to these bitches. Like I said, I don't give a fuck if they do that. That's their money. But at the same time, I acknowledge things for what it is. And these same niggas, most of them, not all of them, most of them would not give a penny to the male content creators who actually gives a flying fuck about their ass. But this is what we have here. And me being able to see it back then, I knew that all it took is one good-looking female or decent-looking female content creator to infiltrate the space and claim that they care about the black male collective. And boom, you're going to see this shit pop off. I mean, also, for the past few years, you have seen people within the space put more emphasis in talking about dating than actually talking about the things that are going on within their communities, as far as the economic crisis going on within their communities, the social conflicts going on as far as crime, gang violence, and etc., etc. What they pay close attention to or put a lot of emphasis on is this dating shit. And even when they speak on this dating and relationship topic, it lacks substance. So when you see an entire online community that speak on topics that lack substance, what do you think that the state of that community will end up becoming? It'll end up here's the answer, nigga. It'll end up becoming a space that lacks is a space that lacks substance. I mean, this space is so goddamn retarded that they're so quick to take things out of context. You know what? A lot of you motherfuckers need to refrain from calling yourselves red pill. There's nothing red pill about you motherfuckers. Because a lot of you retarded motherfuckers have absolutely no level of awareness whatsoever. You have no level of high consciousness whatsoever. A lot of you motherfuckers ain't conscious of shit. Fuck y'all.